Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. This is All Rounder. It's episode number 60. We've got so much going on here. In-game, out-of-game, in the real world, in the virtual world. It's all happening here. All right, so it's 16th of August. Let's catch up on the game part real quick. I have my final World Tour race of the season, the Ride London Surrey Classic, coming up. It is day of. Before we jump in, though, it's the silly season. So with the silly season ongoing, here's our first set of updates. I do not have a contract offer, but a lot of top riders have theirs. Here's the ones that have extended and or changed squads. I'm going to just scroll through this instead of going name by name. It's a long list. Teammate Mobak to Israel Startup. And there you go. So transfer market open. We're going to get into that race. All right, so we're into the Ride London Surrey Classic. I have a +1 race day condition, nice fitness peak, fitness level going. That's actually got a nice healthy balance. +1s, +3s, pretty much across the board. So that's looking pretty good for today. 10-man break. They have 2.5 to 3 minute gap, and we're heading into the hills. There's not that much undulation to this race. It's definitely a sprint race. I've got two teammates supporting me, and it's pretty good with Mobak, even though he's on a -4 today. That doesn't help, but strongest rider on the team. And actually, he got stronger. He just added about 2 points to his average. He's a 77 now. So he's got excellent cobble rating. I mean, he's the classics rider, pure and pure, but a -8 to the stamina resistance. He might not be there at the end on this one. Anyway, objective today, top 50. Now, meanwhile, I said there's a lot going on, and there's a topic that I will delve into just slightly, but I will stay neutral on it, so don't you worry. Honestly, I would love to not go neutral on it. I would love to express my viewpoint on the subject, but I'm not an idiot. I know that it would impact some people, and some people would take offense. So here's the thing. I am an American, and we are having our election. I'm recording this the morning before you're seeing it live, so it is now the morning after the election. The election, at least at this point, is still not decided. Now, a third of my audience, roughly, is American. Though, for this game, I would venture to say that it's not a third, but my analytics is overall. I don't get it for video by video or game by game, for that matter. I would venture to say that I have a little more of an international flavor to this game, a little more European audience. So I would probably guess that only 20 or 25% of this audience is fellow Americans. That being said, I certainly don't want to offend half of that group. So I will leave my viewpoints at the door. But I will tell you this. I did not sleep much. I certainly cast my vote, and I was up most of the night. I never went to actual bed, though I did sleep in my chair for a couple hours, and then woke up and watched some more of the coverage, and slept for a couple hours, and woke up and did that throughout the night. I almost got enough sleep out of it, but I'm certainly still at that point of figuratively biting nails. It's close. It's tense. And without expressing any particular viewpoint, I am shocked that so many people could support the candidate that they support. It's surprising to me, but I'll leave that there. All right, so here we are, 60K to go. One more time over the hill, easy peasy, and then we'll set ourselves up for a sprint finish. Now, speaking of the easy peasy getting over the hills, actually it doesn't look so easy because here is Mobek, completely out of energy and fading. Dotes, almost done. Vermelt Fort, Sinkeldam, all at wit's end. 10-man break, still away, under a minute though. And the peloton yo-yoing, but definitely riders dropped. And riders potentially fading. So the 120 we have now, I don't think those 120 are all going to be there at the end. But let's go ahead and bring it on down. Let's get to it. Enough talk about that subject. This channel is not the place for that. Even if it's a topic that I am actually rather passionate about. I was a history teacher, and in the U.S., history is combined with certain subjects such as civics, meaning government is one of the subjects that I taught. So, although in the U.S., our education system, it is highly frowned upon to actually teach anything about government, other than the basics, other than here's that system. See? Here it is. Now you know. Anything beyond that is taboo. We just don't talk about controversial topics, and they don't let us talk about them in the classroom, and or lots of teachers are afraid, or more importantly in this case, the principals, the administrators, the district heads, the heads of state. They're too afraid to talk about the topics. Alright, we're seeing a little attack. That's Trentin off the front. He could maybe hang on and win this thing. He's got a 10-second gap. Though I would venture to say he'll get pulled back. It looks like he's about to get reeled in. I think he's sat up a bit. And here we go. 6K to go. Activate my gel. We're actually seeing a little bit of a sitting up in the field right now. Sinkeldam, Mobek have nothing but Luke Rowe. Hello, Luke Rowe. Give me a lead out, please. Please, oh please. Okay, let's try 87. We'll see what that does. We will use that transcend here shortly. 87 is not quite enough. 91 appears to be so. 93 seems even better. Ease our way to the front. Top 50 seems without a doubt. 100 in the peloton. I will not be in the back half of this group. But here we go. 94 for Rowe, and he is running out of energy right now. 98. Okay, now done. 1.1. 1.1 to the line, and look at that. I'm at full strength. But I'm not in the optimum place. Baska, Ackerman, Hodeg. I'm not beating those guys. But will I get a top 10? You betcha. We will get a top 10. Alright, here we go. Will we get a top 10? It's not looking so likely anymore. I'm pretty slow compared to these guys. Pretty slow. There goes Ackerman. No surprise at all from that position. With 1.1k to go that he would win it. Viviani takes 4th. Gaviria 5th. That's actually a lot of strong sprinters. 13th. Okay. Well, not top 10. But Buani was 10th. He might have punched me on the way to get there. It's possible. He is known to do that. Did you see it? Nah, I didn't see it either. We move on to Stad Zurgem. And I again have puncher top 50 expectation. Definitely seems achievable. I earned 40-something points for getting 13th there at Ride London Surrey Classic. Let's see if we can do something similar in this one. 129 in the peloton, 2-minute gap to an 11-man group. Mobek, our big classics rider, somehow didn't get leadership. I don't know if it's because our little cobble section is punchy because it's uphill or what. But I've gone ahead and taken this one on as if I were a... and so it keeps changing you out because I don't know why it keeps changing Musso out actually. It keeps flipping back to auto for him even though I tell him to maintain position. Oh, it's only 2 stars. All right. Well, I was preparing myself for this by bringing my team forward, handling it more like a career mode race than a pro cyclist mode race. I'm taking a genuine interest in the team because we have an uphill, skinny pathway. It's only 2 stars, but gaps can and will happen, and we can already see right there. Luke Rose in the front group. I missed the front group, at least currently. And now it's all coming back together. It's yo-yoing, but the last time especially, yeah, we don't want that to happen. The first time or two, I know it's going to come back together. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But some of these groups, the furthest back, they might not regain contact. We have 59 here chasing the 32 at the front. That's actually a decent little gap between us and them. And there's definitely some chasing going on. So everybody flipped over to auto except for Plankart, who was still protecting me. So let them handle this in an auto fashion. Bring this back together, get us back to the front. And it's still over a minute. We have not gained anything on them at this point. So what I need to do is I need to speed up, and I need to go forward.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Okay, it's back together for now. Motorbike in the way, riders all over the place, dragging along, slowing us down.
I know several riders who would prefer to be at home.
It might only be a 2-star section, but it absolutely is doing damage because throwing in the hill with it. Taking those 2 classifications together, really splitting things up. This time Mobach makes it to the front and stays there, and we are just behind with a small group, but we're still behind. And we only have 2 times to go, so right now I have no teammates doing the chasing. You can see these guys are done. We really need to bridge this gap soon because the 40-something we have away, this is going to be it. I think the 16 of us still can and likely will bridge this gap when we hit this next time through, but then it's going to split off again, and that's going to be that. The 27 at the front, or 30 or 40 at that point, that's going to be it. So we're going to start scooting forward, and we're going to use sneak if we need.
Let's see if he can resist a comeback from the pack.
See that me not being very punchy and not having a very good cobble rating, we never bridged to that gap.
Some will try to stay in the middle, while others will take to the sides,
We are
practically on the grass.
close. Okay, relay. Come on, guys. We're almost there. We're so close. I'm not getting group, so that's odd. We're splitting off. Now it's just... So now it's not even showing me.
There are just 15 kilometers left.
The peloton is just falling apart right now, but I've got to sit up a little bit. We do not have much energy left for this last time through. It's 20 riders at the front. I don't know if we ever caught the break or not. No, peloton is still behind the front riders. Gel up because we're coming up on that last time through there. I've got to try to survive that. We will definitely use sneak, but here we go.
This climb features some dreadful percentages. Another attack. This time it could go all the way.
That way I don't get held up just in case. We're still short of the peloton, and we're still short of those front riders.
And are better at absorbing vibrations. This takes
Okay,
a lot of
bridge the
strain
gap
off the
and
rider's
join
forearms.
Van
5
Wilder.
kilometers to the finish line. Flat
Oh,
tire.
that was a
It
funny
always happens
movie,
at the wrong
Van
moment.
Wilder. We are falling way back, so we almost made it. Bobak belongs there more than I do. All right, so now we're... it's 1 rider left at the front, so only 1 rider left from the break. That's at least good to know. So that's 25 in all. Here comes the finish.
That's just fantastic.
And
He
we'll be
really
in the
was
top
strongest in the
25,
leading
I
group.
think.
We're waiting for the back
27th.
who appear to be fairly
Top
numerous
25
in
would
this
have gone down
difficult
better.
race.
It's still top 50. It's okay. For a 68 cobble rating and a 68 mountain, 70 hill, that's not bad. That is not bad. I wanted my team at the front to avoid those splits, and we still immediately got split off on the very first climb. I didn't expect that to happen on the first one. I expected it to happen by the second or third, and we would have been a little more focused on team train, Mobach protecting me, leading me through it, us trying to take that front position. But yeah, that was actually intense from the very first one. So a little unexpected. Figured we'd kind of ease our way through the first one and then it would pick up, but no, it picked up from the start. Still got the result we needed. Alright, so we're at Droivenkoers Overijse. Sure. I might have been close on that. Hopefully I was. And we hit our first cobbled section of this one. Just a very short cobbled section, but there are many short cobbled sections yet to come. I don't know how bad those sections will be, but we've already done what we need to do for this race to get the maximum points. We worked for the team. That work is done. We're going to get the max evaluation for that one. So there's 10 points in the bag, which we are drawing closer, by the way, to leveling up. At this point, I can guarantee that we will level up by no later than the 1st of October. So it will happen this season. Hopefully, it'll happen in conjunction with, signing a contract with the team. Hopefully that'll happen before too long. But we have a breakaway today of 8 riders. One of them has already been dropped. He's in no man's land. It's 220 to the other 7. And we're cruising through this circuit. This cobbled section is so easy. Well, it's so short. Anyway, it's not that it's easy. It's just so short. It's 100 meters. You're on and off of it again and again. So it's going to do some damage, but it's not going to do that much damage. And actually, now we're starting to see a different circuit. That's a 2-star section, but it's kind of downhill. That's not bad. So the circuit has changed here, and then there's the 4-star section, but it's so quick. It's thud, 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 and you're off it. So right now, it's not doing any damage to me. I won't have any team support today, as I was a teammate. But you can see everybody else. Rusin getting protection. He's hanging in there. Plankart, Van Empel hanging in there. But everybody else is really fading. And this is a good sign for me that I could get a decent finish out of this race if this intensity keeps up. And I continue to make my way through it relatively well. Because if the peloton is super fatigued and or dropped, and that's going to increase my odds of being able to grab a top 10 finish. Van Empel going to get the water, has not made it back through yet. Hopefully he does, because I am starting to struggle. Also, Timo Rusin now looking for me to make a move. But I did my job. I did my work, and I think we just saw some attacks, didn't we? Yes, we did. It's 34k to go. Maybe I need to be getting in on that, but we're going to slow it down a bit here. Right now, this is... more conjecture than anything. So yeah, we're okay. Back down to just those 7 off front. Their gap coming down. It's under a minute and a half now. Under 30k to go now as well. Plankart working on the front. Blinking red at 86 on that little punchy section. Fuel rating not being able to keep up. Flat rating keeping up no problem. That's why it's nice having this flat rating. It's kind of the one advantage I have as a rider.
With less than 20 kilometers to the
Peloton split, 21 riders at the front, and the front group also splitting off. So they are falling apart now as we start to close them in. 20k to go. And again, I'm the only rider left on the team that's actually looking good. Rusin is the leader, but he is nearly done. The pace has been pretty relentless here. 17k to go. Speed up a little more because I can see the intensity pick it up. Just 23 in the group, though we just picked up a few breakaway riders down to the last 2 away, and the gap is very small to those guys. So yeah, we are looking definitely at a top 25 currently. We need to slow this down. Actually, it's only ×2 speed. This is mostly about the pace.
Avoiding a puncture is vital in this type
okay, here's that last 4-star section. Is
this
the last time we have to hit that? Maybe. 10k to go. 10k to go. And I feel like I could almost break away and win this thing. We still have one breakaway rider, and the gap seems to have picked up slightly. I think I'm going to try to attack. I'm thinking about it.
The riders are closing on the last 8 kilometers of the stage,
And I'm
which will
trying
most
it.
likely end up in a mass
I'm going to
sprint.
try it. I'm not going anywhere. I literally was going nowhere. I was attacking, and I didn't even open a gap at all. And the front rider, the
We're
Bora
into the
rider,
last 5 kilometers.
he was just like laughing at me. 4.5K to go. 3.5K to go. There's a little uphill. It's right there. That's a good time to try to get away, but no gap. Bora, Grawl, the guy who laughed at me a moment ago. 2.5K to go. 1.9. Kind of a downhill finish.
There goes the
Let's
sprint. The
sprint it
strong
out
men
from
are
here.
getting their all.
Come on now. So technical through here. It's really hard to pass. We're down to 18 riders. There's the finish. It's just Grawl and I.
A victory
And I got the
right down to
win.
the wire.
Just the second
Wow,
of the
he
year.
handled his race well.
Vitor, Carlos, Grawl laughed at me earlier, but who's laughing now? I get the 10 points for the work objective. I get 7th for best teammate, but then I win the race itself. That adds up to 52 points. I am now down to 39 away from leveling up, which means the turn of the month, which there's no races between now and then, we're going to level up. In terms of an attribute increase, the choice is really obvious that it's one of two. They both have the same number of attribute points. There's only a third one that's even remotely close. The rest are significantly lower in the attribute increase. And both of these follow the rules in an identical sort of way. So I have Puncher or Northern Classics. Now, in each of them, and this is what's going to make it fairly easy to discern what to do, each of them adds 3 points to flat. Each of them adds 1 point to sprint and acceleration. Each adds a point to Baradur, 2 points to stamina, and 3 points to recovery. Now the rule is recovery is our lowest. So recovery is the one we need to focus on first and foremost. Then we need to go after whatever the second lowest is as best we can. Well, the second lowest is a 3-way tie between acceleration, which both of them gain 1, and then mountain and cobble. Well, the difference between these is one provides a point for mountain and one provides a point for cobble. So the choice is clear. What do I do? Is it mountain or is it cobble that I want 1 more point in? Now, here's the thing. Where do I perform better? Well, it's the classics, right? I just won a classic, so a point of cobble in classics is certainly a good thing. It could actually help me earn some more wins. But where do I get the most points towards leveling up? And if we really think about it, I want to say that it is those stage races where I end up finishing in the top 10 and winning King of the Mountains. That's where I've been gaining the most points across the board. I think I prefer 1 more mountain point over 1 more cobble point. Because a 68 versus a 69 in cobble rating, very little difference. It's still the same type of classic that I'm going to succeed in. I'm not going to suddenly win Paris-Roubaix with a 69 cobble rating over the 68 that I have. Now, you can make the same argument towards mountain, that a 68 versus a 69 is not going to make a significant difference, but it's going to consistently have me climb just a little bit better. And that's going to improve me in a whole lot of races by a minor amount. But with a race day condition or under the right circumstances, that's going to have an impact. Wow, that cobble rating of 68 versus 69 isn't going to change anything at all. That is still such a minor thing, where the mountain one will have an impact, a larger impact. So I'm going to go with puncher. I feel like I pulled off a bit of a coup. We just went from a 73 average to a 75 average for that leveling up. Those extra flat points apparently really had an impact. Holy cow. I mean, 81 is a really good flat rating. It obviously doesn't get much better than that. Bringing that recovery up helps for those stage races that I'm somehow competitive in when they're the punchy only type anyway, not the pure climbs. That was a nice jump. That was unexpected. I mean, I was hoping for a 74. I was definitely not expecting a 75. That was a pretty good jump on that level. I mean, we're still 22 years of age. The sad thing is the limitations that this game puts on development. Why it caps you out like that, I don't understand. But we are 3 levels away from our next attribute increase. Based on the scores, the lowest is now that cobble rating. So we will have to go with Northern Classics next time, regardless, or something else that at least comes with that Northern Classics, that cobble rating increase, because we have 4 69s and 1 68. So we're down to the last 5 that are still under 70. But one of them is 1 point below all the rest. So that will be the guaranteed must upgrade when we hit level 28. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.